Hi, and welcome to our podcast. This is Jen and Dan's Natural Healing with Plants. We love to help people find natural methods for healing, for helping with any health condition for themselves, for their family members, or even their friends. We love using herbs and plants for our food and our fitness. So today we are talking about the incurables. So I know for me, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease back in 2007, and I was told that there's nothing you can do about it. You'll be on medicine the rest of your life. Blah blah blah. It's incurable. No one knows what causes it, and so that happens to so many people. Now, thankfully, for some people, autoimmune disease is definitely horrible, horrible, horrible. I have not had the really horrible. I had one episode, which we'll talk about on another episode. But look at me now. That was 2007. I'm strong. I'm healthy. No one would know anything was wrong with me because nothing is wrong with me right now. So that goes with the whole claiming and everything too, right? But I don't have any antibodies. I would not be diagnosed with an autoimmune condition today. So we want to talk about incurables. So people who have a diagnosis of cancer, stage 4 cancer, there's nothing else the doctors can do. Any of those conditions, how do you help somebody? Is there something that you can do? If it's you, what can you do? Or are there some people who there's nothing you can do anything for? So Daniel, how are you today, and how do you feel about this topic?
I'm doing great, Jennifer. This is one of my favorite topics because there's so many people that are given a death sentence. And of course, we learned at Dr. Christopher's school that there are no incurable diseases, but there are incurable people. Because people, they either won't believe the information you give them or they're not willing to do it. And we also were taught, one day all of us is going to be a day for us to go. But Dr. Christopher and Dr. Schultz had a lot of people that were given death sentences and they were able to recover. And they taught Jennifer and I the routines because we went to the school there. And I think a lot of people get confused, with natural healing versus the modern medical system. What this system we teach does is what we're doing is we're making the body so healthy and we are increasing the function of the immune system to such a high degree that it can start to, I like to say, throw off these diseases you might be suffering from. So what do you think, Jennifer?
I totally agree. So there are, if you think that you're incurable, you're correct. If you think that you can prove the doctor's wrong, you are correct. And so there's a lot with that too. And we talked about that on a prior episode. Doctor tells someone they have 6 months to live and they make it 2, where someone else, they tell them they have 6 months to live and 3 years later they're still around, or maybe they die 3 years later. But it's really where you are at. My grandfather, he had like 4 months to live or 6 months to live. I don't remember, but he didn't. It was like each one of his children spent the night with him at the hospital and then he died. I mean, it was just that fast. But I know it's just because he knew I'm not going to last, and that was it. And so
Yeah.
could he have lasted longer? I don't know. But I think that there probably could. This was years and years ago. I think there probably are some things that he could have done or differently, or doctors could have done differently. That kind of thing. In a lot of cases, sometimes the disease is too far gone. Sometimes, like it's like, how do you explain this with children? Things like that. Maybe we got too far. Maybe the diagnosis, it just took too long to get the diagnosis, and at that point, the person's too tired to fight it. And so you have to have a positive attitude. You have to be willing to do the things and fight, and be willing to make a really drastic change, because the only way you can get a change is to make a change. If someone thinks that they want help because they've been told they're incurable, but they don't want to change their diet or their lifestyle, It's not going to happen. You've got to make a big change to get a change.
Yeah, in the cases of incurable disease, it has to be an aggressive change. Like you don't have time to wean into it. Like if you're dying from cancer, you don't have time to start eating a little bit of, whole food plant-based, then dive into a little bit of raw. You have to jump in because cancer, it depends on the cancer. Some cancers grow so fast that you have to like immediately start going hardcore into the incurables routine.
Right. Right. And just like we say in the other episodes, sometimes you get sicker before you get better. And so sometimes people, there can be fear there. So you have to be ready to handle something like that. But of course, if, the doctor says you have a limited amount of time to live anyway, you have to choose, how do you want to, sorry, I did that dinged. How do you want to live out the rest of your days? Do you want to be in the hospital? Do you want to be hooked up to machines? Do you want to be, stuck? If you are sent home under hospice care, do you want to be stuck in a room, or do you want to be able to go to the beach? Do you want to do different things? That kind of thing. Is choose what you want and how you want to live out the rest of your days.
It's an interesting thing you said, because when I was reading through some of Schultz's lesson plans for this and Christopher, a lot of people in later stages of cancer, they're in a lot of pain. And what they found was after a week or so on the Incurables program, for most people, the pain would decrease to a level to where they could get off morphine even. So even if the person didn't live a lot longer, they could get out of pain, which is like one of the awful side effects of cancer is the pain is excruciating. I mean, it's horrible disease, but
Right. Right. And so let's talk some about the Incurables program. So at the School of Natural Healing, we learned a lot from Dr. Schultz, but mainly from Dr. Christopher. It's Dr. Christopher's program. And so I know we talked before we got on here about there are some differences. Dr. Schultz's goes even deeper than Dr. Christopher's. But there's lots of herbs involved, juicing. There's different activities involved, and it's something that you would not be able to work and do at the same time. You're constantly doing something, especially when you first get into it, as far as the routines go.
yeah, they asked Schultz about that. He said he did have some clients that were still doing it. I don't know how they would take their juice and thermoses and things like that. They made it happen some way, but if you had the option, it would be best to take time off, and that way you could go, like it'd be easier to do it, because this is a around the clock routine. It's around the clock. You wake up at 7 in the morning and you're going to start some of your routines, and then you may be done by 10 o'clock at night, and then you go to bed and wake up and do it all over again. But this is life or death situation,
Right. Right. So I believe with Dr. Christopher's, we start with the 3-day juice cleanse.
Yeah.
So that reminded me, Dr. Arundel, he did the same thing. He always followed Dr. Christopher's programs as well. And he also started with the 3-day juice cleanse, but he also started with the parasite cleanse as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. A medical disclaimer before we keep going. This information is for informational purposes only. We are educators. We are master herbalists. We are trained in other areas. However, we are not your doctor. We are not working with you one-on-one. We're not telling anyone to go off their medications or go against their doctor's orders. Please run any information through your medical provider and do your own due diligence. Take our information, compare it to other research that you have found, and work with someone who can work with you and your individual needs. Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just thought that was important to add as we go deeper.
Oh yeah, it's very important. But it's funny you say parasites. There are some theories that cancer can be caused by parasites. I don't know how true that is, but I know that I've seen certain cases where somebody would go on a parasite cleanse and their cancer would go in remission. it may be true for some people and not true for others,
Right, right. So should we talk just straight Dr. Christopher's right now and then
Mhm.
add as we go along?
Yeah, let's start with Christopher. Yeah.
Okay, so we start with the 3-day juice cleanse.
Hmm.
And Dr. Christopher wanted you to stick with one juice, one type of juice. It could be an apple juice, it could be a carrot juice, grape juice. If you had a citrus juice, he wouldn't want you to do orange juice. It was a combination of grapefruit, lemon, and oranges, and diluted. It wasn't as strong as the others. But you want to replace your entire lymph system with the juice. So you would basically drink a gallon of juice. You start with prune juice, actually, to make sure things are moving. And all of Dr. Christopher's, everything begins in the gut. Everything is constipation. We have to get things moving. And so we would start with 16 ounces of prune juice, and 3-day juice cleanse. And do we start with the cleansing kit on the first day?
You start with the
Lower bowel formula.
lower bowel.
Mhm. And also, we would incorporate 3 times a day apple cider vinegar with honey or molasses and garlic and cayenne. And that was the apple cider vinegar to soften any stones. Honey is very antibacterial. Cayenne helps with circulation, getting things moving through the body. Garlic, antimicrobial, antifungal, antibacterial. And so we would incorporate those things. Did he recommend potassium broth as well?
Yes, because for the potassium, he said that a lot of cancerous conditions is caused by low potassium, and they found even the Gerson therapy found this that if you increase the potassium, it can help put the
Yes.
cancer. Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, potassium broth is definitely.
Okay. So is there anything else food wise that we would add days 1, 2, and 3?
You would add 3 tablespoons of olive oil to make sure your
That's right.
bile ducts are lubricated and help your bowels.
That's right. That's right. Yes. To get the gallbladder to contract, to help
Hmm.
release any stones and to keep the bile flowing. Yes. I'm so glad you remembered that. Or added that. I didn't remember that. So then when we start with the lower bowel formula, and then do you do the cold sheet treatment right away?
Yes. Yes, a modified cold sheet treatment where you do I think you start with a warm bath and you go into cold showers, I think. I had the book somewhere, but
Yeah, I have it everywhere too. But yes, you take the warm shower, you get yes, and then in the cold water, take the warm shower. We did a lot of hot and cold therapy, and then you wrap in a cold wet sheet,
mhm.
line the bed in plastic, and rub something on the feet.
Garlic oil.
Garlic oil on the feet, which listen to our other episode on garlic, and then put socks on, cover up
Mhm.
the body, and go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then when you wake up in the morning, you can see where the toxins had come out of the body, onto the sheets even. Um,
Yes. He says sometimes it could be different colors. It could be the sheets would turn green or black or yellow. All these, and this is all the crap coming out of us, like all the toxic waste that is really, and this is even in Christopher's day. This is back in what, the 1950s and 60s.
right,
And the environment is a lot more toxic now.
right, right. And then you would also start with sun,
Yes,
going
something.
outside, naked in the sun, starting with, it was just a minute on each side, I think, day 1, and then
Mhm.
rubbing the body with oil. And
Yeah,
so it was different oils.
the 3 oil massage, the first 2 days of the week, you would use castor oil. The second or the day 3 and 4, you use olive oil. day 5 and 6, you use wheat germ oil.
Yeah.
And you rub the body from head to toe. Your body absorbs this oil as a nutritive. The castor oil also helps to break up toxins and solid matter like fecal matter. And
you'd increase the sunning. So day 1 minute on each side.
yeah,
Day 2, 2 minutes on each side. And then after the 3-day, it wasn't 3 days, the 3 oil massage, then you wash the body with apple cider vinegar. Is that correct? Clean the
yeah,
skin.
yeah. Clean the skin. And that's just so after the 3-day cleanse, we go into our first week, and then the first week you could pick either carrot juice, apple juice, or grape juice, and you want to stick to just one for the week. That's going to be your food. He recommends drinking as much as you want. Some people only drink 16 ounces a day. Some people drink a gallon a day. I recommend as much as you can drink because still want to try to keep the calories up if you can,
Mhm.
And then he recommends slippery elm gruel every day. I know you made some of that a few weeks ago. I saw it on Facebook.
I did, yes, when we did our gallbladder flush.
Yeah.
I did, yes. Yeah, it's very soothing coating for the stomach, helps to healing the stomach. It's a mucilaginous, so it helps everything from the mouth to the anus, help the coating the area. And that being a gruel, it's something you do actually put in your mouth like you're chewing, having something to eat. Because when you're doing your juicing, there's no chewing involved. And
Yeah.
so having something just like so you feel like you're having a food, but it's nutritive and healing as well.
So the other steps he wants you to take. He wants you to make the or take the complete bone of tissue every day. This is part of Christopher's Incurables. And I think he wants you to make comfort. Yeah, he wants you to make comfrey tea every day, which is controversial these days, but comfrey has also been shown to fight cancer. So he wants you to drink 3 cups a day of the comfrey tea. Let's see, and of course, I think he wants you to do mild exercise to keep the lymphatic system going. It could be walking. If you're up for a light jog, he said you could do that for like a mile. This is good to make sure the lymphatic system is going. He also makes you incorporate deep breathing every day for 10 minutes because this also stimulates the lymphatic system. And I think that yes, we forgot the skin brushing with the showers. You skin brush before you take a shower, another lymphatic technique. Oh, and then of course, you can chime in when you want to, Jennifer. I don't want to forget, but also the emotional. If you have emotional problems, like if you have hate towards someone or a lot of fear and anxiety, they want you to meditate and try to release these negative emotions because these do affect your immune system in a negative way.
Yeah, Dr. Schultz talked a lot about us storing emotions in our organs and how important it is to release those emotions. So whatever you can do to help work through that, seeking counseling, meditating, journaling, writing, which is journaling, releasing emotions. Yeah. So yeah, it's the whole body. So we're getting sunlight, we're getting vitamin D, we're moving the body. So rebounding is another excellent form of exercise. So sun, sleep, making sure you get good quality sleep, taking the herbs. So we start with the lower bowel formula. And after, is it 2 weeks in lower bowel formula? Then you add the liver. Then you add the kidney. When do we add the kidney formula?
You can add it with the extended cleanse. You add it the first week. The incurables, it didn't really specify. I would assume you would use it like you use an extended cleanse. That's what I would do. It's not going to hurt you. I would just start out with the lower bowel and the kidney. I think that's what I would do because
start them together, and then the next week the liver, and then the next week add the blood cleansing formula.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I would do it. He didn't specify, but I'm sure he'd be okay with that because that's the way I would
Yeah.
run it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to make sure everything's moving and cleaned out first, as
Hmm.
far as your eliminatory channels, the bowels and the kidneys, and then work on the liver. So when you detox the liver and the gallbladder, they have somewhere to go. So you're not recirculating those toxins. And then once the liver is clean, then we work on cleaning the blood, because the liver's clean. Everything from the blood can be filtered better through the liver and eliminated.
And he specified that if you have cancer, it is because you have a dirty bloodstream, and it is absolutely necessary to clean the blood if you have cancer.
Yeah, and so if you don't have Dr. Christopher's cleansing kit, what are some herbs that you would use going through a program like this?
Oh, red clover, burdock, chaparral, garlic, cayenne. Um, I would definitely well, I don't know. I would throw in echinacea for the
Oh,
first
yeah.
week
Mhm.
because I mean our goal is to get the immune system really on track.
Mhm.
What would you throw in?
Is adding dandelion,
Ah,
pal d'arco, um, bitter almond seeds.
oh yeah.
Um, I think those would be really great. Maybe even adding some adaptogens to help with soothing and calming. If someone's having trouble sleeping, we definitely want them to have some things to help with calming the monkey mind, so they get good quality sleep. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's going to be an all day thing. That's why it's going to be hard to work at the same time, because it takes a while to juice. And then when we do juicing, it takes a long time to make the juices. You want to make sure you're taking time to get the apple cider vinegar and molasses and garlic throughout the day, getting your time outside, taking the hot and cold showers, doing the 3 oil massage, and then it's time to juice again, and because you want to make the juices as fresh as possible.
Yeah, I've heard people refer to this program as natural healing boot camp, but I mean just to be kind of, you know, lighten the mood, because if you're doing this routine, I mean I've done it for fun before because I want to know how it works, because I don't want to
Mhm.
recommend anything, but if you're using this routine, you're usually very ill and you're trying to heal yourself. So that's another thing. It may be hard if you're really sick, but try to laugh every day. I don't know, watch a comedy or, you know,
Yes.
something like that, because laughing is so important. Is actually boost your immune system.
Mhm.
And I don't think I mean, I'm too serious of a person these days, but I don't laugh enough. I mean, everybody needs to laugh more. I think Schultz would say learn 1,000 jokes so you can laugh every day.
Yes, even when they're the corny jokes.
Oh yeah. It doesn't
Yes.
matter as long as you get a
Mhm.
get some humor there.
Yes, and water. Incorporate lots of distilled water to help
Yes.
pull any inorganic materials from the body.
Yes, people forget that one. Distilled
Mhm.
water is what we recommend because it is a, like Jennifer's saying, it is basically a water that helps pull out a lot of toxins, not even the inorganic materials, but also other toxins. You remember, anyway, I'm not gonna go off topic. Um, and that's the first week. The only difference between the first week and the second week is you change your juice. So if you drink carrot juice the first week, the second week you would do apple or grape juice. And he did say that it takes a lot of grapes to make a lot of juice, but Christopher said that if you can find a high quality juice at the supermarket, as far as grape juice, that you could use it. And it's funny, there's a new juice at Publix in my area. It's from Brazil. It is actually pure grape juice. There's no concentrate. It's pure grape juice, like in the old days. That's the kind of stuff that Chris was talking about. There's no there could be no additives in it. You want it to be just juice, no concentrate. And Publix, you can probably find something like that, or Whole Foods.
Right. Yeah, back when he taught, it was before they pasteurized all of our foods.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want
Yeah.
cold pressed, right? And luckily, a lot of the stores are selling cold pressed juices these days. It's hard to
Yeah.
find one that's a mono juice, but
Have you ever
yes,
tried to make, it would take a lot of grapes to make a gallon of grape juice if you're making your own.
yes, yes.
Woo.
I have made it. It tastes phenomenal.
Oh yes, it is delicious. It's like
Yes,
dessert.
yes, it is so good. Well, carrot juice too. Oh,
Oh
I
yeah.
love
Oh
carrot
yeah.
juice. But so I've also I've done the 3-day juice cleanse. I have not done the extended, I haven't done the incurable um, program. So I've done the 3-day. And I will tell you, you drink as much as you can. I hit a point where, I mean, carrot juice is so sweet that I hit a point where I didn't want anything sweet anymore. And so it was like potassium broth saved the day. It was like I
Yeah.
could drink the potassium broth because it was not sweet, but I did not want anything else sweet. And you will get to the point where it's hard to get far from the bathroom drinking the juices too. So that's another reason why it's good just to take time off from work, because you'll be drinking the juices, running to the bathroom, doing the hot cold showers, doing the sunning, doing the 3-hour massage, doing your meditation, doing your journaling, and then starting over and doing it again.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I mean, if somebody has a terminal disease, I just pray to God they don't have to work. I mean, surely your boss will like, okay, take some time off to do this.
Take care of your health.
Yes. This
Yes.
isn't, we're talking about this. You might be here listening right now, but this is I mean, a very intense routine. You're going to be, it's a heavy, deep detox. Like Jennifer's saying, you will be going to the bathroom. The juice, after a while, in a juice fast, it starts running through you. But that's what you want. You're
Right.
going to be going to the bathroom, having a lot of bowel movements. You're going to be urinating a lot. But every time you do this, you have to think toxins are coming out.
Right. And you're moving your body and moving your lymph every time you get up to go to the bathroom too. So you're moving your body, moving the lymph system, cleaning the lymph system, getting the toxins out, flushing it with all these juices, filling your body with all the vitamins and minerals from these juices as well, using all the herbs as nutritives and more minerals.
It's
Um,
it's so powerful.
yes. So how long does someone do this? And what are some additional things that Dr. Schultz added that Dr. Christopher did not?
Okay, so with Dr. Chris's routine, you wanted to be on the juice for at least the first 4 weeks. He said after the first 4 weeks, you can start to incorporate some, raw foods. Not a lot at first, of course. With Dr. Schultz, now he took the Incurables routine and he added some things. So he added enemas. He wanted you to do an enema at least, I don't know, maybe 3 times a week at first.
Mhm.
Dr. Schultz also added he added hot and cold showers. So for example, if you had a tumor like in your breast, he would say to do hot and cold water on it at least 3 times a day. And he said it would
Right.
help break the tumor down.
Right. Getting like working as a pump.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And well, he didn't add it, but Dr. Schultz would make you do the hot and cold therapy once a week in the beginning. You got to do it once a week. Because they had a guy, Schultz would go to Europe a lot. They had a guy come in, he had a tumor somewhere, it was somewhere in the body, and they immediately threw him in a hot and cold bath. And he said
Mhm.
he threw up and some of the tumor come up. That's how powerful
Wow.
this routine can be.
Mhm.
The hot and cold shower, it basically it creates an artificial fever, and when your body has the body temp goes up, your white blood cells, what is it? They increase by, was it 3 times? Is that
I can't
right?
remember, but a lot.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So basically, it puts your immune system on steroids for a few, probably 24
Mhm.
hours or so.
Yes. Even had people who had colon cancer who went to the bathroom and saw the tumor in the toilet.
Yep. Yeah. Um, Trying to think of other things Schultz added. He didn't add a lot more. I know he would, Schultz, he would, some of his clients would juice fast for 3 months. He says some of the people will become juicers and just love it, and they would just keep juicing. Like he had a guy that had lung cancer, and he became a super juicer, he would call it. Like they got addicted to juicing, which is, good if you have cancer. And he was
Mhm.
able to overcome his lung cancer. But I'm going off topic. Oh, I'm on the same topic, but I'm trying to remember exactly what he added. Okay, yeah. Well, Schultz's routine, the difference was he each week he would pick a different organ to cleanse. Like week 1, you would cleanse the liver, but you would add in the morning drink and the herbal tea like Jennifer does with her clients on her 10-day.
Mhm. Detox
And
tea.
then week 2, you would do the kidney cleanse. Basically, I mean, you would still be cleansing, but you would add in the drinks and the teas. He found that worked even better than just doing the capsule herbs.
Yeah. For me, I do better with the capsule herbs. I mean, with the teas too, than the tinctures. So I
Yeah.
know, well, I like the kidney and liver tinctures, but I like the lower bowel
Oh,
capsules.
yes.
Yeah, for a couple of reasons. One, the lower bowel tincture is hot, lots of hot cayenne in there, as well as some other herbs. And so it's really difficult for me to get it in, even in water. But I also find that my digestive system works better on the caps than it does with the tincture. But we're all unique. We don't know what's going to work one person over another. Now, Dr. Arundel does the same as Dr. Christopher, but he does start with the parasite cleanse. And so he adds the herbs for a parasite cleansing as well as the 3-day juice cleansing, just because he said it's so important that anyone with chronic disease, they most likely, we all have parasites. We get them from all sorts of different things. We think of dirty food, dirty meat, uncooked pork, but we can actually get it, walking around outside barefoot. It could be in the water. I mean, there are just different ways that we can get. I know someone who even got parasites from juicing carrots. So it can, we never know where you can get yours from.
It's interesting. So, if you have cancer, a lot of times the immune system is weak because you probably won't get cancer if your immune system was strong. And so
Right.
if the immune system is weak and you have parasites, the parasites are going to it'd be a lot harder on the body because the immune system is weak. So it makes sense to me that, and the Incurables program, it's definitely going to, the liver cleanse alone is going to kill kill parasites. So, I mean,
Right.
because it
Yeah,
has
there are a
things
lot of
like
the same
wormwood.
herbs.
Yeah,
Mhm.
same herbs.
A lot of the same
I think
herbs.
it's one reason it's so effective. I mean, they never talked about that, but I thought to myself, well, in the Incurables, you're going to be killing parasites because a juice cleanse alone would kill parasites because they don't have anything to eat.
Mhm. Right.
So,
Yes. So for someone who has been told that, there's nothing else that we can do, I would start with a 3-day juice cleanse. I would do the um, hot and cold water treatment. I would take the warm shower, wrap in he used a shower curtain, didn't he?
cotton
To line the
sheets.
bed.
He will line a bed with plastic.
Mhm.
Our shower curtain will work to line the bed. Something
Yeah.
waterproof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But so you take a warm shower, you wrap your body in cold, wet towels or a cold, wet blanket, and
sheet.
then or, you cover up with blankets, put the garlic oil on the feet, socks on the feet, and go to sleep.
Yep.
Get your sun, do the 3-oil massage, starting with the castor oil for 2 days,
Hmm.
then the olive oil for 2 days, then wheat germ oil for 2 days. Clean the body with apple cider vinegar to remove any toxins that have been removed, been drawn from the body. Adding in 3 times a day garlic, apple cider vinegar, molasses, and cayenne, and a tablespoon of olive oil 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Yep. And then after 3 days, switch to a different juice. Also incorporating the lower bowel formula the first week, kidney formula the second week, liver, gall, bladder formula the third week, and the blood cleanser the fourth week. And then I would repeat with the same but using all 4 herbs from there too. I wouldn't stop at 4 weeks and see how you feel. You'll know how you're feeling. You'll know, am I feeling better or not? And then, and you would know, is it time to start adding foods? For me, I miss chewing and I love to eat. And so it gets to where I want to eat, which the slippery elm can help with that. The potassium broth, make sure you make that every week or twice a week so that you have potassium broth. It's just something warm because the juices can get really cold depending on what time of year. Like this will air in late summer. But if you don't want your body to be cold, you want your body to be nice and warm. The liver likes warmth. And so keeping your liver and your kidneys warm. I've heard, I don't know how true it is, but in Asia, the women wear this sashes around to keep the kidneys warm. So you want to make sure your body stays warm. So using the potassium broth to keep your body warm can be useful as well. And staying well hydrated, even though you're drinking the juices, you want to make sure you're adding lots of water. So lots and lots of water throughout the day.
And if anybody's like on the fence, Dr. Schultz, now I've never worked with a cancer patient because it's kind of, there's legalities to it. But if somebody came to me, I wouldn't turn them down. I would explain to them that I'm not a doctor and all of that. But Schultz got to do this for 20 years back in the 90s. And he said for cancer, when people will heal, it would take anywhere from 3 months. He said the average time would be 3 months and they would be clear. Some people might take a year. But he had a high success rate with this routine for cancer and other diseases. Like he worked with stroke patients that will recover and autoimmune diseases, things like that, all these incurable things. But he will work with stage 4. He had stage 4 cancer patients come to his clinic, and these people were sent home to die. And a lot of them would get better. So if you're out there thinking there's no hope, I mean, he proved in his clinic there is hope if you're willing to put the work in.
Yes.
And that's why me and Jennifer do this, because if I can help somebody keep their dad or mom or wife or husband or kid around longer with these routines, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach it to you if you want to learn, because family is very important. And if we can keep people around longer with these routines, I mean, I'm going to do it, I'm going to help
Yes.
people.
Yes. That's not me. That's how I think of myself. I'm definitely not a healer. I'm an educator. And so I help share the information, tell people where to find more information, tell them what I have learned. Right. But yes, if you want to be around for your children, be around for your grandchildren, you're not ready to leave yet, then there are other things that you can try.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think that wraps up. If you have other suggestions for us, you've been through an incurable program, you have tips or tools, things that you use in an incurable program, we want to know what you have to offer. We love to hear from you. Thank you for listening.